Okay, welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Leah Massey, and today I'm excited to be joined by my guests, Dan Hall and Tyler Hall. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your role in High Tech Housing Incorporated?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Tyler, and I've been in. I'm one of the owners of High Tech Housing, along with my father and my mother. We're all a family-owned company. Um, Cut my teeth in this industry by actually starting out in the communities
Mhm.
with cleaning the leach fields of septic
Oh,
systems. Yeah. So I
oh, for
started
real?
from the bottom, I guess.
Oh,
But
okay.
and then I got into the maintenance side of it and learned a little bit about the rental side of it. So learned more on the community management side of it.
Mhm.
And then in about 2016, 2017, we reopened our sales center here.
Oh, okay.
The company's well over 50 years at this point. All started by Dan,
Mhm.
but I now run the show for the most of the year,
Mhm.
and then my dad helps out about six months a year, and very he's forgotten more than I'll ever know. So
Uh-huh.
it's very very important to have him around. So
Yeah. And I like it, Taylor. I was talking to your dad earlier about, that you deciding to continue on,
yeah,
the family business. That's nice because you don't see that anymore too
sure.
much. Yeah. So
And
what
we're
made you
actually a
want to
third.
do that?
What made me want to do it is the opportunity. I guess
Uh-huh.
I saw the opportunity that we had in the communities,
Uh-huh.
and the amount of infill that these communities could benefit off of having.
Mhm.
Fortunately, we weren't able to come through in that, but um, it led me into being interested in selling new homes
Okay.
to customers on private ground as the majority. I would say probably 95% of our business. But the community also, plays in my heart because
Yeah.
I did it for a while as
Yeah.
well, and I was always interacting with the tenants and everything like that.
Okay.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was nice. Like I said, you guys are very welcoming. I know you and your salesperson Chris too had
sure.
welcomed me the day that I came on here and kind of was checking things out. So, how did High Tech Housing Incorporated get started, and what inspired the focus on modular and manufactured homes?
High Tech Housing is over 50 years old.
Okay.
I'm the president of the company
Mhm.
and the founder of the company. Noticed a need for housing that would be a little more affordable for people, and that spurred my interest in it. I started building mobile home parks.
Mhm.
Uh, did that for about 8 years, and then went into the retail aspect of this in manufactured and then eventually modular housing.
Okay. And for just some of our viewers too, before we get started on things, some viewers might think because you had worked in the mobile home park, and I think some people still kind of take that thinking to when it comes to manufactured and modular homes, like it's still like that mobile park feel, like the trailer park or whatever.
Mhm.
So, what do you say to that? Like people who still have that thinking?
The easiest way to determine uh, what you think about it
Hmm.
is actually to go see the products.
Right.
When you come into these houses, they're 2x6 construction rather than 2x4. They meet the same standards in the modulars as any site built home, which is the BOCA code.
Hmm.
The manufactured home has its own code, and it's called a HUD code, which is also very stringent.
Hmm.
So the industry has continuously gotten better
Hmm.
and competes very nicely with any site builder.
Okay. Yeah. And we're actually setting in one.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Kind of piggyback on
Uh-huh.
that a little bit. What also, I think in the 70s, 76, when it actually got a building code and everything like that,
Mhm.
it was built for affordability, affordability, affordability.
Mhm.
And then today, because of the advancements in the code, and back to Dan's part about the building code,
Mhm.
um, the code does have 2x4 sidewalls, but we do not sell anything less than like a 2x6 sidewall, two
Mhm.
by six floor joists. Most of them are 2x8,
Mhm.
or in modular, it's a 2x10. So the build of them have come up so much to kind of exactly what Dan said about the modular building code or the BOCA building code, which is all stick built homes,
Right.
that um, I think that's truly why people should come out and see how advanced this is, because this right here, the house we're sitting in now, nobody would be able to,
Right.
you know,
Right. And
exactly.
it's looking like your custom home built almost the
Correct.
inside. Yeah. So it's
Correct.
not, so it's a whole different look now.
Yep.
Yeah. So you did touch on that, Dan, a little bit, the difference. But my next question was just to kind of get a little bit more detail on that. So let's start with the fundamentals. What exactly is a modular home versus a manufactured home?
There is confusion between what is a manufactured
Mhm.
home and then what is a modular home. The codes are a little bit different.
Mhm.
Both are very stringent. The manufactured home is built on a steel frame.
Mhm.
And because it's built on a steel frame, it goes down the road on the steel frame with wheels attached.
Mhm.
It gives you the opportunity to place the home on a federally approved
Mhm.
foundation, which is a pier set,
Mhm.
which is considerably less expensive than a crawl space or a full foundation.
Mhm.
Okay. The modular home does not have a steel frame.
Mhm.
It comes in on a carrier and is lifted off the carrier. The modular home has to be erected either on a crawl space or a full foundation, like any other conventional house.
Mhm.
Uh, that's basically the difference.
Okay.
When you look at the houses visually, it's hard to make any difference because they're both look almost exactly the same.
Mhm.
Tyler will go into it more, but we have hundreds of floor plans in both products.
Right.
Sure. And with that, you can still do a crawl space on a manufactured home. There are some out there you can full basement, but that's a very rare thing.
Mhm.
So usually the determining factor when somebody comes to us, well, do I need manufactured? Do I need modular? It's no longer a quality thing.
Mhm.
It's more of, do I want a full basement? Is usually the
Yes.
biggest
Oh,
determining
okay.
factor of that.
Okay.
When they go for a full basement, usually we refer them to modulars because all of the modulars will have an area for that downstairs stairwell. It's
Mm.
like that. It's that simple. Where because these areas, because we don't have an area for a stairwell,
Mhm.
that's why we always refer people over to
Oh,
modular.
that's a good point. Okay.
Yeah, and on the modular, the manufactured homes are single story homes.
Mhm.
The modular homes could be single story, 2 story, Cape Cod, apartment complexes, uh, duplexes,
Yep.
any other site built product. In fact, near the Hopewell exit,
Mhm.
the largest modular apartment complex was erected over the last 2 years. And
Mm.
there's 938 modular apartments
Oh.
in the complex. So that kind of shows what the flexibility of that type of housing is.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, that was two good points y'all made. So that difference with the basement part, and then also when I do see the two-story ones, those are modular homes.
Hmm.
Okay, could I see those on lots sometimes too? Okay, in terms of construction, building codes, and materials, how are these two types of homes different? And I think you guys spoke a little bit about that. Is there anything else kind of different with that?
I can take this up. So both of them are gonna. One of the biggest benefits of
Hmm.
manufactured housing, whether manufactured or modular,
Yeah.
is the amount of inspections that you don't have to have by an
Interesting.
on-site building inspector.
Okay.
The reason that is there's a third-party inspector as these homes are going down the line, and it's kind of like the Henry Ford way of
Mhm.
building a home,
Okay.
where it just has different stations throughout the whole
Right.
thing. Um, that Because of that, the biggest difference is when a manufactured home comes in,
Mhm.
it's licensed by a third-party HUD inspector. So everything inside basically is signed off, you know, and the inspector then is only inspecting things like the piers or anything done on site, piers, porches, air
Okay.
conditioning, that stuff. The modular, you're still opened up to a final plumbing and a final electrical
Mhm.
because it's a BOCA code home
Mm.
or the same building code as the stick built. So
Okay.
the benefit of this type of housing is definitely a speed thing. Most of the time it's in how quickly we can do it.
Mhm.
That's dependent on, but the inspection thing is a huge help to the speed of the process as well.
And then also you mentioned stick build. Can you say what that means? Like,
Sure.
what is that? Yeah.
So your big builders,
Yeah.
Ryan, Miranda, all these guys
Yeah.
in the area, those are considered stick built, and those are actually, it's a panelized home, but stick built also is basically building from the ground up,
Mm.
where we build when these homes show up, they're 70 to 80% complete. Drywall's in, cabinets are in, most of the flooring's in. So when they're coming on site, we're finishing the last 20 to 30. So because we're not building from the ground up, we're considered a manufactured
Okay.
home.
So
Basically.
no stick built homes have it where they're bringing in part of a home. If it's something part of a home, that's a modular usually. Is that?
Yeah,
Yes.
they do have kit homes, but they're
Okay.
still built up from the ground up. So like
Okay.
basically you can go to 84 Lumber or one of these companies and buy a kit
Mhm.
that has all the pieces to it, but you're still building it on site.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
yeah,
All
definitely.
right. Thank you. And where do modular and manufactured homes overlap? In what ways are they similar?
The way they overlap in features.
Okay.
Usually in the modular, you tend to have a little bit more features that you can choose from, but then that's even becoming tighter and tighter
Mhm.
between manufactured and modular. Um, the build differences are a 2x8 floor joist on a 30 wide for manufactured,
Mhm.
or a 2x10 for a modular. So it's not a drastic difference. Um, the Yeah, but the overlaps, like in this home here,
Mhm.
it would look the same manufactured or modular, except for the layout for the utility room. You'd have an area for that stairwell.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
they interior wise, exterior wise, you really wouldn't know the difference until you get into the modular might offer more on the exterior packages of more dormers, setbacks and all that stuff.
Oh,
So
okay. All right.
yeah,
So there's slight. Okay.
slight differences in options more than, actual, you can tell the difference type of
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
All right. And also I just had a question too. You know how sometimes you have it where with cars or different things like that, maybe they focus more on the exterior and then the interior is a little bit more plain, or maybe they focus more on the interior and it's more like jazzed up and then the outside's kind of plain. Is that a little bit of what the manufactured and modular homes are?
This is an area where the industry is improving.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, a little plain on the outside, on the inside, basically anything you want.
Right.
Uh, the industry is doing more with dormers, different types of facades on the outside of the houses, and that's an area that is coming along. And when you look at the newer homes, you can tell that there's a lot of improvement in that area.
And you guys offer the porch with yours, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Yeah.
Uh, One of our basic differences is our approach to selling.
Yeah.
And our approach to selling is to incorporate a lot of the things that you need to do
Mm-hmm.
to finish the home. And we feel that instead of dealing with 10 subcontractors, you're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with one contractor. And in the long run, people save money that way too.
Right. Right.
And also, one of the restrictions I think on the exterior look, the boxiness that we
Mm-hmm.
get brought up to, um, is not necessarily even what the factory offers or anything like that. It's more of a site completion thing.
Mm-hmm.
So um, when we order that stuff, it has to ship in the home. There's a shipping weight that we have to hit and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So I think what would open that up even more to kind of break that up is if there was more options on what we can do on site. And there is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's more of, how much on our side of it can we do on site. So
Mm.
that's usually the dormers and everything like that to break it up. It's not necessarily, what's coming out of the factory in that case.
Right.
So
Okay. All right.
it's more
Thank
of a
you.
labor restriction too. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So there's some things that go on behind the scenes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the key reasons buyers are opting for
Ah.
modular and manufactured homes today?
So recently, I think it's still the affordability of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the recent number is 420,000 is the average new
Right.
stick build, right? We're definitely underneath that cost. We can get up to that number. We can go
Mm-hmm.
higher than that number. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no restrictions there. But I think the biggest thing that's happening is two things. One, we see a lot of empty nesters, so we'll get 50, 60, 70.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that we're seeing is a lot of people are going out and because of the limited existing market out there,
Mm-hmm.
um, they're going there and some of these houses, they're thinking maybe they're overpriced, or I need $80,000 to put this in there. So then we get that trickle down from that as well. That why not buy new at that point? You're up
Right.
to the newest codes, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I think that's two of the biggest draws for us.
And piggyback on what Tyler said there, people in the market are buying existing houses in our price range, ending up spending $50,000 to $60,000 more in improvements, and people are looking at what we have to offer and saying this is a new home with a warranty, and they're not going to be spending $50,000 or $60,000 to enhance the home.
Right. It's like moving ready.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
And I just wanted to go off what you said about the certain people, the retirees.
Hmm.
Also, too, a lot of times it's hard to find places where there's no basement or no
Sure.
upper floor. It's just one level.
Yeah.
So this manufactured homes do give that. Yeah.
And that's a very good point, because that
Yeah.
is one of the biggest draws.
Yeah.
Is a lot of places don't do ranches, and we can do ranches at an affordable number.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How do these options compare to traditional stick-built homes in terms of affordability, quality, and time to move in?
Quality, they're built to the same codes as stick built
Right.
in the modular side, and as I had mentioned before, the head code are very stringent, both areas.
And how about the move-in? Because the time is a lot
Yes.
quicker too.
Yeah, timing is another big feature for us. We can at least do the house in half the time that it would be in site building.
And can you just give a number for our viewers, just kind of know what that would look like usually?
After the home is delivered to the site, when weather is decent, we try to hit the number in 8 to 10 weeks, weather dependent. When weather is more difficult, you can be adding months to that consideration.
Okay.
It's more of a weather-related consideration than anything else.
And that's compared to stick built, how long they usually take.
We're hearing numbers of like 12 to 14 months on some of
Okay.
these. And to the benefit of that, it is definitely time, but these are never rained on. These are built in a factory, so these are weather tight from go. Our goal when it gets on site is to get that weather tight within 24 to 48 hours, because if rain would get in with the drywall and the cabinets and everything like that, that could be get very costly, very expensive. So the other thing that affects the timeline is how many projects we have out there. Now we're looking into getting more, contractors, interior contractors, to possibly do more volume. But it's how many projects we have ahead and how far out the factory is.
Okay.
Now most of the factories are usually about 8 to 10 weeks from the order date, which is the closing with the bank.
Oh, okay.
So
Sales is one of our easiest tasks. We will only sell what we can service. Okay.
Okay.
And we could sell 2, 3, 4 times as many houses. We couldn't service that. So as time goes on, we're developing more and more better subs, and as that goes on, we'll increase our sales accordingly.
Okay. Well, that's good that you guys take on what you can handle at the time. You're not having people. That's good.
it comes back to that family-owned thing. There's a
Yes,
pride
yes,
to it.
yeah,
I
there's
mean, it's
pride
not
to
just
it.
a numbers game at that point. Yeah.
That's important. Are there lifestyle or location considerations that make one type more suitable than the other?
No, it's a simple no. Whatever fits into your budget is a consideration, but lifestyle is not a consideration. But the doorways are 36 inches, which will accommodate a wheelchair if necessary. Our subcontractors, if a person would need a ramp, that could be done on site after the house is delivered. So those really aren't considerations.
Okay. And how does zoning impact where a modular or manufactured home can be placed? Are there any restrictions buyers should know about?
Very, very good question. So when we were getting back into this, that was one of our biggest questions, our hurdles, or how we're gonna make this work. Allegheny County is always, a little bit more stringent on this stuff. What we're seeing is not necessarily, you can't do manufactured housing there. It's more of, we don't want, you can't be skirted. So you
Mm.
have to do either a non-weight bearing block surround or a crawl space or something along those lines. So it's not even necessarily manufactured or modular. It's how you're finishing it on site.
Okay.
Um,
Is there
so
any reason to that skirting? Like, can you just explain to the viewers what that is? So they.
it would be a guess on why it's like that, but I
Mhm.
think it might be an aesthetic thing
Okay.
where I think people, when they see the blocks around, they think foundation, they think everything like that,
Mhm.
and then they see the skirting, maybe they think of a different thought in
Okay.
that case. So
Okay.
I think it's more of that than anything, but it is a federally regulated home, like
Mhm.
building code. So
Right.
um, the pushback we get is usually on that
Mhm.
more than you can't do this here.
Okay.
There are deed restrictions that can happen. It's very, very rare. It would have
Mhm.
to be to a specific piece of property,
Mhm.
but besides that, it's pretty wide open on where we
Okay.
can put this
And
up.
when
And
you
the,
say, oh,
and there's some things happening on the federal and state
mhm.
level that are going to help improve zoning considerations
Sure.
Okay.
to make because of the need for a more affordable housing.
Right.
So that's becoming less and less an issue,
Mhm.
combined with on our manufactured homes and our modular homes, uh, if they're placed on private ground, we can get conventional mortgages,
Right.
and money talks.
Right.
Uh, so that's been a interesting change, and we have that readily available.
Okay. And we'll talk, yeah, talk
The-
about that. And
Just one more thing on that
mhm.
point. The other thing that does help with the acceptance in these communities and
Mhm.
everything, because a lot of people do believe, oh, I can't put this here, I can't put that
Yeah.
there. Because it's federally regulated on the manufacturer, the modular sides, it's never going to be an issue on the modular
Right.
side. The manufactured side's the part that very, very rarely, but we do get some pushback on that skirting. You have to be federally licensed in order to install manufactured housing as well.
Mhm.
So it's not like anybody can go and, pop a home onto a piece
Oh,
of
okay.
property. There are codes. You have to control water away from homes and stuff like that. And I think because of that, the building inspectors really like it because, oh, they have to meet this code. There's actually a sheet at the end, the HUD 309, that we have to fill out
Mhm.
with them. So the building inspectors like this type because it's already got an established, line of how they has to be installed. So
Now, is that something too? Is that like something that the buyer should check into prior to where they're moving at or the land, or is that something that you guys help buyers check into, or how does that usually work to know? Say they want to purchase the land prior to working with you guys.
sure.
I think
Yeah.
what happened yesterday was kind of interesting. We were on
Mhm.
a farm, a dairy farm,
Mhm.
and that had an existing older mobile home.
Mhm.
And we looked at the site, and there was a hillside where all the water was going into where
Mhm.
the mobile home was. Uh, we looked at the site. They have a lot of ground there. We told them a better site, and it was on top of the hill.
Mhm.
Uh, in the long run, it would be more cost effective to do it that way because they wouldn't have to put walls up and this
Mhm.
type of thing. So uh, the answer is yes, we do help people out, and the way that we accomplish that, even prior to selling the home to the consumer,
Mhm.
we go out and inspect the site and give them helpful hints on how they can do it better. And in a long case, a lot of times by doing it better, it's more cost effective too.
Okay. And I'm sure you probably got some just so they know, like say if they do have a piece of land, they purchased it already or they
Mhm.
inherited it, but they have that land and you guys do go out and that it doesn't fit on, like, what you have situations like that, is there?
Many times,
Okay.
and it might cost us an hour or two to go out and take a look at the
Yeah.
site, but it's cost effective for us to do that, and it's definitely cost effective for the consumer
Mhm.
because if there's things that have to be corrected with their site, that's on their dime.
Right.
Okay, the only way to avoid that is do proper inspection.
And what we try to do is we try to get ahead of that. Like,
Mhm.
you know, obviously one of the first questions we ask, do you have land? Does
Yeah.
it have utilities? Are we looking at septic? Well,
Yeah.
all those things that cover to try to get as much information as possible But that site inspection is crucial to Dan's point. But if somebody already has a piece of ground and they want to build on it, and then they find out they can't build, that's a tough situation.
Right.
So we try to get ahead of that and saying, well, have you purchased this? If you haven't purchased it, let us check it out before. Or if they're in a, like already in ready to put an offer on it, put a builder contingency in there that allows us to know, can we do a septic here? Can we do a well? Is this buildable? And everything like that before they even do the purchase. So because of the ability to have, I have my real estate license and everything like that, I was able to take that knowledge and put it into the land aspect of it as well, to kind of marriage them together, I guess, in that point.
So it is fair to say come to you guys maybe first before purchasing, or talk to somebody before you purchase that land to make sure it's
Wherever you purchase, you
Yeah.
should require that.
yeah.
And then one more thing, that a lot of places that people don't look at is maybe a dilapidated home. That's a huge benefit because it already has the utility runs. It already has a septic or a well.
Right.
We could tear it down for a couple $1,000s, and then you already have that.
Right.
And on something like that, there's obviously a lot higher of a chance to build on it because it's already been built on.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point too.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Stuff that always has utilities already on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
we also we have to get the house there.
that's what I was about to say. The location too.
Yeah,
So
so
you
we
guys-
have to look at the roadways. We have to look at power lines. We have
Yeah.
to look the topography of the ground.
Yeah.
These are all important considerations, and I would say 25% of the time, if the site isn't suitable, and it's much more beneficial to us and the customer to know that up front.
Right. Right. Okay. And what differences exist in land use and property requirements between these two types of homes?
I'm also a land developer,
Okay.
and I'll take that one.
Can you explain what that is? Just so it is
A land developer is the person that goes out and acquires the ground and improves the ground, the infrastructure, and then creates a situation where the lots are sellable to the public or to a builder. Okay. I've done a development recently where the modular homes are right alongside the other site-built homes. So that's what it is. There's really no difficulty with that at all.
Right.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
question. Yeah. And it's a lot of people, well, is that usually pretty common when you come to these manufactured and modular parks, like this sales center where people are land developers because they offer that land?
Most people, Tyler mentioned, they find a dilapidated house and take it down, or old mobile home and
Yeah.
take it down. That's one of the ways. The other thing is some people are gifted the property, and that works very nice for them. Or they just go out and buy a conventional lot.
Right.
If they want us to do the job for them, it's imperative that we see the site before they purchase.
Okay. And usually you have to be a land developer to kind of know what them.
Land developers is one of the smallest parts of real estate.
Okay.
You don't have to be a land developer, but someone that's well versed in building houses or looking at the site might not be a land developer.
Which is where the land development comes in, like the ability that he can look at a site and say, okay, we're going to need X, Y, and Z on there, where some places wouldn't necessarily, because they don't have the background of looking and knowing what something would need. It's a leg up we have for sure.
Okay, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How do foundations differ between modular and manufactured homes, and why does that matter for buyers?
Sure.
Tyler's also licensed as a installer. He can handle this.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And
for
can you
me,
explain what that is?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
installer?
So the installer is what I was referring back to, where you have to be federally licensed.
Okay.
You have to go through a program, couple-hour course, everything like that, and it breaks down soil conditions, sand, rock, all the types there, what you can put in there, what your depth of your cement pier is. So when you do a manufactured home, one of the ways to set it up is you drill down 30, at least in this area, 36 inches by 20 inches,
Mhm.
fill it with concrete, and then you pull the home over top of those, that's what you're blocking leveling into that metal frame with.
Mhm.
And there on diagonal corners, there's a tie down into that concrete as
Mhm.
well. Now, not to go on too much of a tangent, but that's also one of the biggest changes in manufacturing. These things weigh tens of thousands of pounds.
Mhm.
In the past, they didn't really necessarily have that weight
Yeah.
because of that. But the other ways that manufactured housing can be put together or set is on that block surround.
Mhm.
So in place of the skirting, where it's not really it's not really supporting the home.
Mhm.
It's still on that pier set. Or we can make a weight-bearing block surround where we would create a beam system that would go front to back.
Mhm.
And then we set the home on top there, and then that can be weight-bearing.
Oh, okay.
Now, modular, they're designed to be supported on the exterior walls, kind of like a traditional basement or a traditional crawl space would be.
Oh, okay.
And because of that, that's when we have to implement a crane and a specialized set crew and everything like that. So those are the multiple ways.
Well, what's the differences between why pick one over the other? Like, is it price difference or?
It
Okay.
can be a drastic price difference.
Okay.
Sometimes a home that's shown as manufactured, you want to make it modular, can be $80,000 to $100,000 difference in price,
Okay.
if not more.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the
Yeah.
price difference is the foundation.
Okay. It's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
foundation. Okay.
Exactly.
When you add the foundation cost, it kicks the price up.
And the modular coming out of the factory is also at a higher number.
Okay. Now, what's the one that automatically comes with it? Is it the blocks when they're like, say, if they don't pay an additional for foundation, is there a standard one that manufacturers come with?
Yes. So it would be a pier set.
Okay.
And how the piers work, I could go into that a little bit more. So 2 feet in and every 8 feet of going down the frame. So each box has um, two frames.
Mhm.
And then every 8 feet there's a pier that's below frost to reduce,
Mhm.
heave and all that good stuff. So something like this house here at 30 by 66
Mhm.
would probably have close to 40 piers onto it. So it's
Okay.
an over supported system. And that's again goes back to because the code has gotten better and better and better over the years. That's why you see that.
Okay.
Some of the manufactured homes that were set in the 70s, 80s, and 90s are just right onto the ground.
Mhm.
So that's another thing that's changed too because of the code to install them has gotten better. So is
Now,
the product.
now with those piers that come standard with it, is
Mhm.
that the ones that have the skirting
It is. So they can have
Okay.
skirting or the block surround.
or
In
blocks
that,
around? Okay.
exactly. Yep.
The blocks kind of look like it's foundation, almost looking like it's
It looks exactly like
Okay.
a foundation would look.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the other thing that allows too, to kind of go back to one of your questions
Mhm.
on who this would fit. If we did a block surround on a manufactured home, we can pour every 4 feet like you would on a traditional foundation,
Mhm.
and then we can grade against that. Then that allows us to grade the dirt against that wall,
Mhm.
even though it's not a weight bearing wall. And then it's like one step into the home. So if you have somebody with maybe some mobility problems, something like that, it is still a possibility of manufactured and modular.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay. All right.
So as we talk, there's not as many differences as you might think.
Right.
Yeah. Primarily, it's the foundation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it seems
Yeah.
like. Yeah. Does High Tech Housing Inc. help clients find suitable land? If so, what does that process look like?
yes, we definitely do.
Mhm.
And it's only going to get better because we just brought on
Mhm.
Chris, who's learning
Mhm.
very quickly. Chris doing a very good job. And he's getting his real estate license as
Mhm.
well. It's a little bit overwhelming right now where I
Yeah.
have my real estate license and I'm doing the company and we're doing the building, blah, blah, blah. So because of that, we've been a little bit limited on it, but it's only going to get better because we're bringing on help that will be licensed for
Mhm.
that. So how that looks today is if you were one of the people looking to
Mhm.
build on a piece of ground, most of the time they've already bird dogged a couple lots.
Mhm.
We're able on our side of it here to pull it up on the TV either using Google Earth
Mhm.
or the West Penn Multi List,
Mhm.
all these different ways of checking it out. But also, if you're a consumer and you're like, oh, is this lot buildable? What can I put on there?
Mhm.
We have a technology on our website that you can put the address for that lot,
Mhm.
say, I want the view, which is the home we're in now. Will it fit on this lot? And it'll tell you if it'll
Mhm.
fit on the lot. The only things it doesn't necessarily have locked down is the side lot requirements, front rear requirements. So there's still questions we need,
Right.
but it'll tell you if it's buildable, and it'll also, if there's already a structure on there, it won't let you put the house there. So it has an intelligence built into it, and because of that,
Mhm.
when you ask us, I want more information, we have all of that already
Right.
for you. Above and beyond that, our website also allows somebody to design the home on there. So before that initial call, we have, where's your lot? What are you looking for? If you want to fill that out. If you
Right.
don't, then, we can show you here. But because of that, we are able to, help to find land the
Okay.
most, help to find a floor plan. So
So that also explains like why you maybe shouldn't purchase the land prior to, because the sizes, because if you got a double wide, maybe a triple, or whatever the size is, you need more land
sure.
versus less land. Okay.
It is definitely easier to get the land and fit the house to it than to get the house and fit the land to it.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
For
And
sure.
this is these have is there like a minimum, I'm sorry, is there like a minimum amount that the lot should be? I think someone told me, was it like 0.25 acres?
A quarter acre is
Yeah.
probably the most desired,
Okay.
but it also is how the measurements go. Because,
Okay.
being in real estate,
Yeah.
you know that you could have a pie shaped lot
Mhm.
and you can only build back here, not necessarily in the front.
Mm.
So it also depends on the measurements of the lot as
Like how
well.
far the house should be from the road, stuff like that too.
Correct.
And I
Correct.
do see sometimes what's the reason for that? Sometimes they'll put, usually it's a single wide, I see, but it's like it's not facing the road. It's kind of like on its side, like so
Yeah.
you come in like around here instead of it facing like this. It's because the size and they had to turn it this way,
Possibly.
or the utilities. I don't know,
And
but
this house is actually a great example. This has a built-in porch for
yeah.
it. One of the key reasons we brought this in here is because you can put this house length or width-wise,
Okay.
depending on the lot. So it kind of opens it up to that. And this porch then can face that road or it can face away from it. But it kind of shows that there is front entry options as well for narrower lots.
Oh, you're saying some people might choose to have it lengthwise. Oh,
Exactly.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Another market we're going to be doing this year
Mm-hmm.
is specking some homes
Mm.
Definitely.
where we'll go out and acquire the lot, place the home, and then it'll be sold as a package.
Oh, okay.
And we think that that's going to be another very interesting market.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that will be, yeah.
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 And also let the market see, look, this is what we have to offer now.
Right, right.
You
And it's
know.
visual, they see it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.